Hey there, how's it going today, guys and girls? Today we done push day here in Eastern Kentucky, my outside gym. The weather was really nice today. It's really cold this morning, but as the sun came up, it really warmed up. I would say this morning it was probably, low 40s Fahrenheit. Let's see, that is a little bit below 5 degrees Celsius, I think. I'm supposed to be good at doing that conversion, but perhaps I need to sharpen my studies a bit. As the sun came up, it got a lot warmer. I think at the time of this workout, it was around 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and that comes out to around maybe 15-ish degrees Celsius. Am I right? Somewhere around that area, maybe a little bit above 15 degrees Celsius. Forgive my mental maths. I'm in pharmacy school. I'm supposed to be good at doing that conversion and a bunch of other conversions. But mental math is hard. Anyways, today was push day. It was a really good workout. I tried quite a few different things. We start out with a stretch and loosen up as always. Also today, this clip I think is 4 times speed. I usually make these videos on my phone and it has a max of 2 times speed, but you can pre-edit the clip at 2 times speed, and then whenever you go to make what it calls a movie, where you put a bunch of clips together, you can then go in that area and 2 times that speed, so there's a little bit more math. 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm not sure how well you guys will like the really sped up warm-up. I think the only parts I done 4 times speed were the stretch out, loosen up, and then the 6 rep band warm-up. I think when I get into the warm-up circuits here in a sec, I think that's 2 times speed, as it always is. But anyways, I've named off those 2 things I've done today. Then I think we got into some handstand press, some handstand push-up, some planche, and then the handstand push-ups, and then I tried a little bit of impossible dip. Well, I forgot about this. This is the push day specific warm-up, but nothing major, just warming up those pushing muscles. On my finished skills, I done really well today on my weighted ring dips. I had that fire in my soul, if you know what I'm saying. I think I hit 2 sets of 12, and they were explosive and controlled, and I felt very strong. I think I'll stay with the amount of weight I have right now, but I do think here in the near future I'll probably be upping that weight again on that weighted vest. Something I really focused on today, especially with any kind of inverted position, any kind of handstand position, is that I really wanted to work on my balance and coordination. This is something I tend to get pretty lazy on, and I'm sure other people do as well. When you do things for years, over time, we're like, I can do that. I don't have to try and do the best rep I've ever done. I don't have to try and set a PR this time. And what that leads to over time is you get really lazy on your techniques. And, even if you're not trying to set records or break PRs, honestly, I think in short, you really need to pretend like you are. Because if not, those lazy techniques will follow you down the road, if you know what I'm saying. So anytime you try a calisthenics skill, pretend like it's the last time you'll ever get to try it, and do your absolute best. I don't know if that's my absolute best, but I really got some good balance going on that attempt. And I say that with a little bit of a chuckle because, I definitely struggled on these parallettes today to get the handstand press. Not sure exactly what clip I'm on. I don't know if this is still press or if we're in planche. Okay, we're still in press. Couldn't quite get the press there, but I still felt very strong, and you know, that's good because it takes a lot of strength to be able to do that, especially for a larger guy like myself. Yeah, I really struggled on the parallettes today, but on the Bosu, which you'll see here in a minute, I've done pretty well. And you know, this is something I've talked about a few times. It really blows my mind because unless I'm dumb, I feel like the Bosu, holding things on the Bosu balance board is going to be more challenging than holding something on something that's solid like the ground or parallettes. But I definitely tend to perform better on the Bosu than I do the parallettes or the ground. And I'm not really sure why that is. I don't know if it's just initiating the movement is easier on the Bosu or what, but it just seems like it defies common sense, you know. Planche was pretty solid today. For some reason, I decided on the second attempt of the planche that I was going to try moving the parallettes underneath my monkey bars. And it's kind of hard to see, but I have an assistance band hanging down there. And I'm going to try to use that band to make the full planche a bit easier. And honestly, I don't really feel like this band done a lot for me. It almost felt like it made the exercise more difficult. And I'm not really sure why that was. You know, maybe it's something to do with how the band is pulling me backwards a little bit. Maybe it's kind of off balancing and changing the way this position usually feels without the assistance. You know, I really like the bands, but you know, there's certain things that you try, certain skills that I feel like they don't really help you. One thing that I've never been able to use the band assistance with is regular muscle ups. I feel like the band really changes the way a regular muscle up feels. So honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the best way to learn a regular muscle up is to get really good at explosive pull-ups, explosive straight bar dips, and then just get on like a Smith machine or a low bar and work the negative transition. And then, you know, over time you'll get the full muscle up without using an assistance band. But don't get me wrong, some people like them for the regular muscle up. But this right here, these handstand push-ups, this is what I was talking about. I just feel like my balance was a lot better on this Bosu than it is on something that's solid like the ground or those parallettes. I can't quite explain that. Like I said, I feel like it defies the laws of common sense. Turn this one around so you guys could see the other way. Not sure what was going on, but I felt like I kept kind of drifting towards the right a little bit when I tried it facing this way. I'm not sure how to explain that. Perhaps the ground is uneven, or perhaps I was just getting fatigued and weak at this point. Either way you look at it though, I really focused on my balance, and I really focused on any kind of rep quality with about anything I did today. And I feel like that is going to lead to good things in the coming future. Here I'm trying some impossible dip, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Last time, I think this is the second time I've tried this in recent years, and trying a little bit of a Russian dip there. But I've been having some tendonitis in my left elbow, and I really don't want to do a skill or an exercise that puts so much pressure on the tendons in your elbow. like this impossible dip does, or a slow muscle up does. It's weird, the handstand push-ups don't bother it. The weighted dips you'll see in a little bit, those don't bother it. It's when I do something where the elbow is bent very sharply, is what really causes the irritation. Here I'm trying it again with an assistance band. I think in the future, if I continue to try this skill, which I really should, just I need to keep the resistance really easy in order to avoid injuring my elbow. I think if I try this in the future, I think I'm going to keep using the band is what I'm getting at. Alright, we got the weight vest on. This is 32 pounds, around 15 kilograms. I am around 205 pounds, maybe around 100 kilograms body weight. So this is about 15% of my body weight on my torso. And I felt so strong today on this. Like I said, I had the fire in my soul on these. And honestly, I think one of the things, and I've mentioned it in a few videos before, I think what really helped me increase my performance on this exercise, you'll notice how I'm breathing, how I'm really in the zone, I'm locked in psychologically and physiologically. I'm also pointing my toes, my legs are rigid, my core is tight, and I'm trying to not let my legs swing around so much. Now, I didn't do a perfect job at that. They did swing just a bit, but they were not swinging anything like they normally are. Went and walked around the block. It was about a 5-minute rest break. And then here we are back for this second set. I think I hit 12 reps on that first set with explosive strength, nice and controlled. And on the second set, I think I did the same thing. Also taking a second there to gather my thoughts, taking a second to take some deep breaths to achieve adequate gas exchange, in terms of oxygen and carbon dioxide before I start the set. I think the second set was just a little bit sloppier than the first, but yeah, I had that fire in my soul on these today. If you're in a public gym, you don't have to yell to the top of your lungs, but you can still breathe like you saw me breathing there, and you can blow out really hard and make a bit of noise at the end, especially when you're struggling as hard as I was with that final rep. It's the same, principles behind martial arts techniques, like particularly strikes. When people throw strikes, they tend to yell. And I've talked a little bit about that before, but I promise you it will help you. You got to have that fire in your soul. You got to have the spirit, the energy, and just go with the flow. And do your very best. Now, on another topic, despite my performance being so well on those ring dips today, I feel like my performance was possibly down a bit on these pike push-ups. I don't know what was going on, but I definitely almost felt like I had gained 20 pounds when I started to try this exercise today. I tend to get around 8 to 10 reps, and I think today I really struggled to get around 6 to 8 reps. Now, that being said, I do think my rep quality was a lot better today. This exercise felt a lot better. I felt as if I was able to go down slow and controlled, and then on a lot of these, not that one, but on a lot of these other ones, I was able to explode up. So maybe that is a factor to consider, a variable to consider on my overall performance. But either way, I liked doing this exercise today, even though I didn't quite hit the rep count. But as I've talked about before, if you've watched my videos, rep counts are not a priority as everyone tends to think it is. It's rep quality. You know, it's the 2 to 3 second negative, the explosive less than 1 second positive, and you know, just having good form, good technique, being controlled, and working the muscles you're supposed to work with the appropriate exercise. That's the priority at the end of the day. It's not, you know, who can hit more reps on something. Anyways, here are some lateral, like delt flies, lateral raises. I think I have these on 2 times speed. I'm not doing them as fast as it looks like I am. This isn't really calisthenics exercise. It's just something that really helps, in my opinion, with handstands. You know, it really helps those stabilizer muscles in the shoulders. And there's not really, you know, any other exercise I do that really targets these lateral deltoid heads. Trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Not really another exercise that targets the muscles in the same way that these lateral flies do. But like I said, they definitely are accessory muscles to the skills that I train and the other exercises that I do work. So it's definitely something good to throw in there. Holding it for a bit of time under tension. Here I think we're starting the stretch out. But if you'll notice, I hit the 360 spin over to the hands on the first try today. Felt pretty good about that, because I am definitely not a master of this freestyle skill. But now we're getting into the stretch out and the cool down. Let me know what you guys think about the couple intro clips where I had it on 4 times speed in order to get the total video length down, so you don't have to hear me rambling quite as long. If you'd like to really see at a slower pace what I'm doing in those, you can of course change the playback speed of the YouTube media in the settings. You click on the gear icon at the bottom, and you can also let me know and I can stop doing that. But you know, if I don't forget about it, I'll probably keep trying to do that, just to help kind of get the total time of these videos down a bit. Nobody, at least I don't think, wants to watch a 30-minute or an hour-long workout training log. So I would really like to get the length of these videos down if possible. But I can't leave anything out. You know, I want to show everything that I'm doing, because there's a lot of people that are new to training and they're new to calisthenics, and I'm not trying to sound biased, but I feel like everything I do is very important. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. And I would really like to be able to show everyone everything I'm doing, because most of the time when you look up calisthenics training videos on YouTube, they do not show how to warm up. They don't show how to loosen up, and those are very important details in order to prevent injury. Our goal here with East Kentucky Calisthenics is to show the big picture and show how to increase your overall health, your overall well-being, your overall strength. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and take care, guys. Bye-bye.